Welcome back to Brand Champions. I'm Howard Wolpoff, your host. Again, this is brought to you by Teal, the agency. And today we're talking branding, and we're talking branding with a branding expert, Aaron Welch from Lift Digital Marketing. And Aaron, welcome to our conversation today.
Thank you very much, Howard. I appreciate you having me on.
Well, we're glad to have you and glad to learn a lot from you about branding. So why don't you share with us, why did you focus your business on working with brands and developing a company's branding?
Well, I've been in the digital marketing industry this will be my 25th year. So I started very early on in the beginning, back when we were begging for budgets from radio, TV, print. And starting back then, unless you were a top tier, well-known, nationally known brand, nobody knew who you were. So getting into the branding work very early on in those early days has really stuck with me, because there's so many small businesses who are just trying to get their piece of the market. And typically these small businesses are technicians. They're experts at what they do. They are not experts in marketing and branding, so they don't know how to build a brand. And that's, hopefully they're coming to me for that.
And that's entirely true, because a lot of these businesses have a lot to provide. They're very smart. They have a skill in something, and that's something that they're trying to sell. But that doesn't mean they have an idea of what to do with marketing and branding and advertising. And that's where the challenges to these companies come. But yet they may have an idea of what they want to see. So when you're meeting with a company and they have, okay, this is my brand, this is what I want, these are my colors, but it does not match with what they need it to be for their target audience. How are you having that conversation? How are you doing that positive redirection?
Yeah, it happens a lot. People, have an idea of what they want their brand to be, but it doesn't necessarily align with who they are, what they do, who they actually want to, want their clients to be. And even we do a lot of rebranding work. So some companies want to move out of the market that they're currently in, and rebranding helps there. And it's just all about honesty, transparency, clear communication and clear expectations. Everybody, I don't know when it started, but this idea of low-hanging fruit, there is no bigger myth in the world, because if there were low-hanging fruit, people would have picked it already. So a lot of conversations like that, where it's not going to be, easy. We're just very honest, very direct. Nobody's got time to play games. And it's just the basis of starting a good relationship, like any relationship. You give people the information. If they like it, great. If they don't, then we're not a good fit.
That makes sense, because these companies need to be working together, working with you, working with your plan, and implementing it to make sure that they're getting as far as they want to and need to grow their business, to grow their revenues. And yes, the low-hanging fruit comment is it's true, because there's no basket for these companies just to scoop up all this business and money coming in. You really have to work for it. You really have to have that right message and find different ways to speak to the audience. So when you're speaking to them, what is the best way that's for them to really communicate directly with their audience without really breaking their budget?
Yeah, I am big on stories. So as you can tell, I will continue to ramble on until I'm stopped. People remember stories. People don't necessarily, there are tons of people, or there are tons of businesses doing the same thing as other businesses. So benefits, or, there's not a ton of differentiation, but if you've got a good story, people remember. So we very much lean into storytelling. We very much lean into, a company's personality, which really is a reflection typically of the owner of the company. And we're constantly trying to get them to let that out. And if their personality and their message resonates with somebody, then they're going to be a great fit with that client audience. Everybody's not for everybody. So if you put out your authentic self and people respond to it, then they're going to respond to you honestly and it's going to be a good fit. And if people don't, then that's okay. There's probably enough business out there where a single business couldn't handle it all anyway.
Well, there's definitely value in authenticity and great value in getting your branding correct. So I was glad that you are directing these companies in the right direction to really connect with an audience. So Aaron, we thank you so much for joining us today and sharing all this information with us.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And thank you all for joining us as well. So important to get your branding right. So important to have that message, all your different visuals connected together to tell your story. Always keep telling stories. That's really going to be the key to really creating great relationships. So go out and have a great rest of today, and we will see you next time.